Hi, my name is Danny Parkins. I'm a member of the UK Pro Team for Guideline. I'm going to take 5 minutes out to talk to you about pike fly fishing in the autumn and winter and the setups that are needed for you to get the most out of your fishing when the rivers are possibly up and a bit of flow. It changes differently from our summer setups, and if you get this wrong, you can make the difference from a really good fishing trip to a really bad fishing trip, and hopefully this can help you out. I'm going to talk through rod, reel, line choices, leader setup, a little bit about the flies and the other accessories that I take out on the bank, and hopefully you can get out yourself and really enjoy this great sport throughout the winter months when the trout season is finished off. So let's get started. Rod wise, the awesome LPX Coastal. This is a 10 weight. I fish 10 weights mostly because I tend to fish large flies or flies with big wiggle tails on, and where I fish locally it can be quite windy, and these powerful rods just give you that little bit extra to send those flies out, and also unparalleled power for when you're playing those big fish in flow. Pike get their head down and they just do not want to come in, so having a really suitable rod is perfect tool for the job. Couple that with our stunning Voso reels, stacked with nice features, beautiful drag, they hold tons of backing, and also more than capable of holding all modern weight forward fly lines. You may notice that this is actually a 10 weight rod, but with a 6 to 8 size reel, and that's purely for super lightness. When you're fishing these large rods all day long with big flies, it can be quite fatiguing, especially if you're not from this kind of discipline. It can be a bit of a culture shock to the shoulder. So fishing these nice light balance combos can make a real difference in your fishing. Line wise, floating lines, intermediate lines, and up to a sink free. Personally for me, I fish mostly intermediate lines, but will go into a sink free when I've got fast moving water. The sink free isn't to get the fly down, it's more to keep a ballast in the water when there's lots of flow. You can bring that fly through the flow more rather than the flow pushing the fly to the surface. On the end of my fly line, I have my fly, wire leader, coupled with 3 to 4 foot of fluorocarbon, which is then loop to loop to my fly line. And that loop to loop is the important bit. So it's a loop to loop to my leader and with a clip on the fly. So if I damage the fly, or I damage the trace, or I damage the leader, I can unloop each individual section or swap the fly over so I can make the changes needed. You don't need to cut off and restart again every time. You tend to have a little rig wallet or your supplies in your bag, and you can chop and change. And it's all about being mobile. Pike fly fishing is a mobile aspect of the sport. We are not stationary. We have a rucksack on our net and we are moving from swim to swim looking for likely spots. So being able to do that quickly and on the bank with just a swivel of your bag around is really important. Fly wise, a nice selection of streamers, and these can be anything from sort of 4-6 inches all the way up to sort of 10-12 inches long. I personally fish big flies, but that's not to say it's a be all and end all. Small streamers work just as well, and they can be from natural colours or darks like these, bronzes and blacks, right the way through to really gaudy bright greens and yellows, maybe even rattles. These all attract pike. Pike aren't fly shy necessarily. Get that fly in front of them and they will take the fly. Other accessories I find really important. Never leave home without your line tray. This is really important, and I take people out all the time, and you'll be amazed the amount of people that see my line tray and it clicks. When you're walking on these banks and you have your fly line in and around your feet, especially in the winter when all the side growth dies off, you get some sun and it dries off, it becomes really tough to break out. And if your fly line's in and around your feet, it can be an absolute nightmare. And also protect your fly line. You're not standing on your fly line, or if you get a fish in front of you and it's all tangled and you lose it in your head, you can quite often miss that nice fish. Another really important bit of kit, an unhooking mat. As you see, these wrap up nice and small. Just carabiner them off to your bag. That's a requirement on a lot of freshwater fisheries, that you have a decent net, decent unhooking tools, and more importantly, the unhooking mat. Fish preservation is key. Let them go, let them grow. Don't have them running around on the gravel. Decent rucksack to keep your supplies in, whether it be drinks, food, Also your fly boxes and all your accessories, camera, whatnot. Stick it on your back. As I said, this is a mobile sport. Net wise, you need a large net, really with a rubberized mesh. Now, all modern lure brands make these nets. There's stacks on the internet. There isn't one that's specific to pike fly fishing. Just get one of those big lure nets. They're fairly affordable and they will all suit. Most of them will clip to your bag or nice and light to carry. Other than that, Polaroid glasses are key, so you can see the features or following fish. Never leave home without them. And it being Britain, good clothing. There's no such thing as poor weather, it's poor clothing. So decent jackets, waterproof trousers or warm trousers in the winter if it's dry, and maybe even if you're wading or if it's absolutely tanking it down with rain, waders. Really, really important. Decent footwear because you are walking miles. Camera, there's not really much else you need other than, if I can find them, decent unhooking tools. These really help. They have a side cutter and they can reach right in. When you're chinning a pike, it can be quite daunting, so having good unhooking tools is absolute key. And I carry a couple, a short pair and that long pair. And that's about it. Once you've got your desired setups, we offer quite a few. The Stoked, the Elevation, the Coastal, in from weights 9 to 10, are all perfect for pike fishing, whether it be rivers or canals or lakes. Any reels, as long as it holds a line. The lines that we stock, like our DX Predator lines, are all perfect. Like I said, intermediate or sink free when there's lots of flow, and just go out and enjoy the sport. There's plenty of information online, and obviously, as I've already stated, all of us here at Guideline are always happy to help. So if you have any questions, please do get in touch and one of us will help. I hope that clears up a few things. Let's go out, clip on some of my nice flies, and let's go and catch some fish. See you again. Bye.